I mean, really, this makes my skin crawl. This is what the old guard of commentary is like. Or every single day you're gonna make a living off of critiquing people, but then you won't critique your friends publicly. Then it needs to be in the shadows, in group chats and stuff. It's just so lame. I don't know how you would have any respect for any of these people. It's like, yeah, criticism is great. You should make your whole channel off of that unless it's about you or one of your friends. Then you should get in your feelings. Yeah, that's why the Willy Mac thing that I brought up was so obnoxious because everybody got in their feelings about it. And I think there is a genuine criticism to make of Willy Mac's Destiny video. But then Willy Mac and Nick DeOrio and all those guys got super in their feelings about it and felt that they were being attacked because Kuihman and J Stock had criticisms of the video. It's just so lame. As if you're some infallible person and every video you make is perfect. Tommy C made his criticisms. Chud Logic acknowledged them on stream, said he's willing to have a conversation, and then Tommy C says, no, 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 no. Why would I do that? You're a scary snake. All right? I would much rather just go to Nicholas DeOrio and ask him to protect me. It's just so lame. Tommy C is not one of these people I ever watched. Nicholas DeOrio, I've never really watched him. I did watch a good bit of Augie RFC back in the day. But even Augie has embarrassed himself a good bit doing the smashing eggs on his head stream. It really is embarrassing. This is what the old guard of commentary is. And because then you also have Bowblax completely disgraced himself, Edwin's generation, or generations, I don't remember, but that guy completely disgraced himself. Who else did they have on? Flamenco completely disgraced himself. And all of these people that were the commentary guys back in the day are just completely embarrassing. For a while now, Kuihman, Chud Logic's son, has been working on a Tommy C psyop. And from what I've seen, this psyop consists of Kuihman making it seem as if people in the background, members of the YouTube commentary community, have been talking about Tommy in a disparaging way. That in these group chats that go on, really, they're not so fond of the guy. Seems like maybe he's lost it, he's a little washed up, that sort of thing. And it seems that it was pretty effective. So a while back, Tommy C does this very strange stream where he says he's soft retiring from YouTube commentary. Yeah, he'll still pop on and cover stuff when he's interested in it, but he's not going to be following it in the same way. He's going to be even lazier about it. And this is because he's sick of mooching off of his wife. Very strange admission. I don't know why you would admit that, especially because I don't know if it'll be included in this. I'm not going to react to the whole thing. It's way too long. But Tommy C makes the criticism that people who disagree with him are losers living in their parents' basements, which, fair enough. At some point, you're still living with your parents, kind of a loser, right? Unless you're taking care of them or something. Yeah, at some point, get out and live your own life. But it's way more embarrassing as a 58-year-old man to admit that you're just mooching off of your wife. This isn't something where he's saying, oh, yeah, my wife's more of the breadwinner, but I do all the stuff around the house and I bring in a little bit of money on the side or whatever. I bring in our spending money and we save everything that she brings in or something like that. He's just admitting that he mooches off of these people. Very embarrassing. Don't know why you would do that. But anyway, it seems like the PSYOP was working, at least somewhat. Then, recently, Chud Logic critiques the great Nicholas DeOrio for constantly glazing Ethan over and over, doing streams about how Ethan is correct, Hassan bad, iDubbbz bad. And, well, I probably would agree with the broad points that are being made there. I don't know. I haven't kept up with it because I'm completely bored of it. But would agree with the broad points. That's what Nick's doing. He's very clearly glazing Ethan Klein. All right, I don't know how you could see it any other way. It's just true, right? And so if Nick wants to get upset and in his feelings about it, which seems like he did, because I showed a clip recently where it's at the end of his stream. He's like, oh, I think I'll raid Augie one more time, but I don't think I'm going to be raiding any of these people anymore. Too many fake friends or whatever. That's not really exactly what he said. I'm paraphrasing. And then there was messages from his Discord where clearly he was upset that Chud would have the gall to critique him on stream. Now this upset Tommy C very much. Tommy C sees himself as the uncle of Nicholas DeOrio because back in the day, Tommy C was more popular and relevant to the commentary community, and he brought Nick on, and that's sort of my understanding, at least, is that's sort of where Nick came from. So Tommy C's very upset that Chud would have this just obviously true criticism of Nicholas DeOrio, and he comes out with this video, Why I Don't Trust Chud Logic, kind of out of nowhere. Though from what I've heard, they hadn't talked for like 6 months at this point, even in DMs or anything. And just bizarre. It seems like, okay, wow, Tommy C sees the walls closing in around him. He's somewhat panicked. And now they've had a back and forth for quite a while now. And this is the most recent iteration of the argument. Tommy C is responding to Chud Logic responding on his stream fairly recently. And it's like 4.5 hours long, assuming that's what this whole stream is about. Probably just maybe do this for an hour or so because it's too much and it gets to be very repetitive. But it's funny, it's entertaining, at least if you're autistically into the YouTube drama commentary stuff.
You're a badass podcast. You're original YouTube broadcast.
Oh, and you know what? To be fair to Tommy C, because I don't think I'm gonna be giving him all that many points here. Probably credit for the E double, right? I'm not really a fan of this song in particular. Green Lights, that's what I would say you should listen to if you're gonna listen to E double. But you know, fair enough. You're using some E double music.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Shop the Point. Chud responded again, and I think we're going to show. First of all, he came clean with a lie. His response for that was, so what? And we got him actually, we forced him not to cherry pick. I made a first video I made, was it last week I made it? What was the first one when it came out?
I think it's like 4 or 5
the first
days
one
ago.
came out, and then he responded to it on stream by not addressing the two big things, the Bowblax things and the Turkey Tom thing. So I was like super enthused when I found out he addressed it, and he addressed it angrily. He's really, he's very, very angry with me. In fact,
at some point in here, Tommy C does say that the most important criticism was the Bowblax stuff, and I'm assuming Bowblax is Bowblax. But I just gotta be honest, I don't think this is a very strong point. Like, if all that Tommy's trying to say is you shouldn't trust YouTubers, then I mean, yeah, obviously you shouldn't trust a YouTuber. I don't know why you would, right? You're gonna tell your YouTuber friends personal details or anything. Why would you do that? That's so stupid. These people make content for a living, and if the tides turn on you, you may very well become their content. And I don't know what more you can glean from that. Fair enough. You want to say that you shouldn't trust Chud Logic? I would think that should have been obvious beforehand. Yeah, why would you trust any of these people who do YouTube for a living? How many content creator relationships have we seen blow up? All of them, given it enough time?
one of the things I've noticed is...
Oh, and just in case you're not aware, the Bowblax criticism is that on a stream, I think it was Nicholas DeOrio, Augie RFC, Turkey Tom, and Chud Logic, were talking about various dramas, and Chud Logic brings up the Bowblax wearing a dress pictures. And this was supposed to be private. Chud pretends as if he wasn't sure whether or not it was supposed to be private. I'm under the impression that he knew that it was supposed to be private, and he let that out. Okay, yeah, if that's what you needed to realize, oh, I shouldn't trust YouTubers, fair enough. But I don't even think it's YouTubers in general for Tommy C. It's Chud Logic specifically that you should not trust.
You know, they're using this line like, oh man, you can't take the banks. It was just a joke. It's just a joke. Well, the same things that I was suspicious of not being a joke are pretty much the same things they're saying about me now. He's retarded. He's stupid. What now? It's CTE. You know, I always thought he had an issue with soldiers. By the way, that's kind of funny you brought that up. It's the same thing. So what am I to believe? Is he joking now, or was he joking then? I don't think he was joking then. Call me crazy. But, you know.
A lot of the times with these sort of jokes, they might stay consistent. You might be making the same type of jokes, but at some point, they become a little bit more serious. I remember listening to Come Town, and Nick Mullen is always making fun of Stavros for being fat. But then one day they're having a conversation, and Nick Mullen is like, Wait, do you actually think you're gonna like live to be old and spend time with your children and have a happy life? Obviously, you're not. You're gonna die. And Stavros was genuinely upset like this. Most of the time, he takes it more or less in stride and laughs along when he's called fat. But when Nick Mullen says, "Yeah, you're not gonna have a relationship with your kids and lead a long, healthy life," then Stavros's feelings are actually hurt. That the jokes didn't change. It's just how people are taking them. And I don't know for sure whether or not Nick was serious at that point, but it seemed like he was because he was saying, "I'm trying to help you, Stavros. This is for your own good," and that sort of stuff. So yeah, the joke remained consistent. Stavros, you're fat. But at some point in time, Nick was saying it more seriously and being a lot more biting, and Stavros got his feelings hurt, which makes sense. But the jokes doesn't really change.
Now, here's the thing with Chud. Well, actually, I'll get your take on it before I go into some kind of rant. Like, we did skim through it. I did skim through it, but we want to do live reaction. And Ginny, what was your take? Happy Pride Month, tipster.
Tippy.
Tippy. So, what was your take, Ginny?
There's just too much pausing for me, honestly. It took forever to get through like the first 10 minutes.
Tommy, you should turn your co-host down even more relative to you. That way, when you do the witch cackle, it's even more jarring. And why is this person so quiet?
The video, or yeah, your video,
Mm-hmm.
and it just got to a point where I was like, this is too retarded. I just need to stop.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
here's the thing, folks. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to do a supercut. Chud did 2 hours and 18 minutes on a 25 minute video. I don't know, you just answered what I said, but he's all over the place. Most of the time just calling me names, which is fine because to me, the name calling is a call to kind of gin up the crowd, to get me mauled, so to speak. So I'll just go away. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I messed with Chud Logic. Jesus, all these people hate me. And that to me just means shut up. When I hear shut up, don't embarrass yourself. That's perfectly funny too. Because if you take like I saw a funny Dicker said, Dicker said something to the effect, you're getting totally mauled in your own Discord. Yeah, that's like winning. I'm paraphrasing Dickers. I apologize. I mean, you'd have to think that I'm trying to win something. I'm not. I'm trying to provoke something. And I think I've done it pretty much successfully. I'm trying to provoke a different view on Chud Logic. Through his pattern of behavior, I think he's a snake. I think he's shown many things. And one of the things that got lost is, I just got off the phone with Kraut & T, who may have been bad empanaded. I can't wait to see Chud in that guy's court, which he's probably leaning towards, if I had to guess, him and Kuihman. So he's under investigation by the Austrian government. The overwhelming odds. I mean, it's not 100%. It's probably bad empanada. And I think whoever made that complaint is going to be sorry, especially if it's an Austrian citizen. But Kraut told me that Chud was pestering him, and he thought it was weird. He did it once or twice about getting Sergeant of Akkad's DMs. He's going to give me his DMs. Can you give him his DMs? I'm sorry. That's a snake move, even if you don't know the guy. That is snaky as fuck. Going up to Willy Mac saying, hey, buddy, why don't you come on the show? Oh, I see you're crashing out. Do you want to defend yourself? Yeah, Willy thought, yeah, you're trying to retard wrangle me. You're not my friend. I'm content to you. Chud's content to everybody.
I really don't understand the point that let's have a public conversation, even if the point of it is to make somebody look dumb. I don't see how that's snaky. To me, snaky is like, hiding in the tall grass, not trying to make your moves obvious or what you're doing. If you have somebody on a public stream, I don't see how that's laying in the tall grass.
Everybody's content to Chud. And if you have a problem with that, that's fine. But, don't sit there and lecture me on what a good guy is, how fair he is. Chud likes to live in the image of fairness. He doesn't.
Okay, I'll never do that, Tommy C. Don't worry. I will never sit and say, oh, Chud Logic is such a good guy.
Want to be fair. He plays dumb, and he gets angry when you point it out. And to all those people that say I got to go on and talk to him, may I point you to harmful opinions when he just screams and yells at them the whole time? No. And then from what I understand in the video, he wants me to come on the show, and then says to do it privately. And I guess at the point, it was like the 217 point, right? He says, well, I'm not to 18. I'm not talking to that guy anyway. So he's all over the place. So he's really fishing.
Well, no, he's not all over the place. His opinion changed over time. When it was just the initial video, Chud Logic was like, hey, Tommy, we can have a conversation on stream or off stream privately. You can record it if you want to. I don't care about any of that. But now as it's gone on and on and on, Chud Logic's like, well, there's no fixing this relationship, right? The bridge has been fully burnt. So there'd be no value in doing this privately. I'm not trying to salvage this relationship. It would just be for content at this point.
For a win. And I don't care how much you call me a pussy, especially like if it's coming from Beaker Kuihman himself or him. Them calling me a pussy has like zero effect. I think Chud's a sad sack of shit. I think a lot of people in this business, it's really a revenge of the nerd situation. I mean, what is Chud? Is he a left-wing intellectual that is really sharp commentary on drama? Or is he really just a pathetic guy that doesn't live with his kids, that is trolling for bussy on his time, on his off time? And that's what I think he's trying to cover up. I mean, I think you'll see in this video.
I think he's assuming this was the first time I ever heard of Chud Logic was when he was Discord messaging with someone he thought was 18, and then turns out they were 17. And people, more or less, they're like, oh, well, he thought they were of age, don't care that much. I think it's weird enough that, I don't know how old Chud Logic was at the time, probably 35 or so, talking to someone that he thinks is 18, trying to get some. Talking about penetrating shyness. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. But that's why I would never sit here and say, oh, Chud Logic's a good person, right? That's beyond weird. The dude's is a father, and he's talking to someone he thinks is 18 years old, trying to get some. Very, very weird behavior.
He looks like a kid that got caught. And when he gets caught, he says, well, so what? Who cares anyway? And I want to point out, too, in his first response, I mean, you would think that he came out the night of the New Year's stream and said, yeah, fuck Bowblax, which, okay, there's nothing I could say about that. You might say, yeah, now he's saying fuck Bowblax, but that was a second response. And I am really happy what that second video did. It got exactly out of him what I wanted to. Can I win this war? No. Who thinks I can win? It's just simply a numbers game. It's a popularity dick measuring contest. But what I can do is plant a seed. What I can do is get the commentary community as far as commentators, because I'm a YouTuber, to look at Chud. And when somebody wants to work with him, they can go back on everything that I say and check out. Like, this guy might not be trustworthy. Yeah, Tommy C is a water-brained conspiracy theorist, but he did drop the thing on Bowblax. And Bowblax is a complete piece of shit, but maybe that's why he did it. So if I tell him something personal, or he's told to keep quiet about something, and I am no more viable to him, I'll just drop it on him. I remember I saw somebody saying I was defending Bowblax. Nobody's defending Bowblax. Nobody hates me more than Bowblax. He needs his pills. But I think what other people will see and probably humor him and tell him, oh, no, it's no big deal. Yeah, you could have leaked on Bowblax. I'm telling you shit, bro. That's what I think is going to happen. So, look.
Yeah, I don't see why Chud should have any loyalty to Bowblax. If anyone was snaky in that, I would say it's Nick DeOrio, right? Because for years, Nick DeOrio and Augie covered for Bowblax. They made people think, oh, this guy is not a complete autistic idiot. He's worth watching. And then as soon as the public tide shifted on Bowblax, then Nick DeOrio is doing stream after stream revealing private DMs where Bowblax is talking about going to the mental hospital and getting prescribed drugs and stuff. Right? Like, I'm not saying you can't criticize Chud Logic. His friends told him something and said it was private, and then he revealed it anyway. It's like, okay, well, if you don't want to share things you don't want public with Chud Logic, fair enough. But I think it's way more snaky what Nick DeOrio did, and maybe RFC to some extent. I'm not as aware of the sort of stuff that he said, but I'm pretty sure he's done similar stuff where once everybody was pointing and laughing at Bowblax, he joined in on it, even though they covered for this guy. And anytime Bowblax started embarrassing himself on stream, they would just okay, Bowblax, you're right. We don't need to get this personal. We don't want to make anybody upset. Let's end the stream here. That sort of stuff. But then, as soon as people are making fun of Bowblax in large numbers, they jump right on it.
There's nothing wrong with looking for pussy on the internet, or man pussy, or whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with it. But it really makes him look like a sad sack of shit. There is something wrong with thanking your friends and pretending publicly that you're all right with them. There is something wrong with
Oh Okay, so Tommy C admits then exactly what I just said about Nick and Augie would be snaking. As over time, they realized that this Bowblax guy, not really someone we want to be associated with, but they covered with him forever, and then publicly dunked on him for multiple streams.
Saying nasty shit about people and then turning around and hiding. Hey, come on, you can't take criticism? You can't take the jokes? Well, how come your jokes are no different from before and after I fucking called you out? Simple. You never liked me, you never respected me, and you don't respect anybody else. This is a climbing job for you, and it always will be. So buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah, that's kind of how you're supposed to do social media. You're supposed to make your numbers climb. Even if it's a hobby. Don't you want your numbers to climb so you can make more money doing this? Why else would you trying to make a difference? The only difference you should be trying to make is to your bank account.
We got a long night ahead of us because I'm going to go over, was it 2 hours? It's almost 2 hours flat, right?
Oh yeah, it's about 2 hours flat. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, just call Chud and all right, I'm gonna say this just like once, maybe later in the show. Green, I would look like the biggest hypocrite in the world. I just called this guy a snake. I just said he was Chud-worthy. What do you think? This is some kind of communication problem? He said he didn't want to call me because he doesn't have a problem with me. The only reason that he'd want me on the show is to pull a harmful opinion stunt. This is all about getting the win. If I talk to him in any capacity,
have harmful opinions, and Chud Logic had some falling out. Right? Chud Logic makes fun of pretty much all of his friends at some point in time on stream, but I don't get the impression that harmful opinions is in his feelings about it or anything like that. Same sort of thing with Kuihman. Every time Kuihman ever comes onto Chud Logic is because they disagree about something, and Chud talks crap about Kuihman, but Kuihman doesn't get all in his feelings about it. Tommy C does. Nicholas DeOrio does.
That would mean like I would get criticized by, wait, you just called the guy a snake and now you're cool with him?
Oh, and how does it make you a hypocrite that you call somebody out and then you talk to them publicly? I think it's way more spineless and criticizable if you talk about somebody, get their attention, and then you're not willing to talk to them, right? I talked to crap about D-Sigs for months. Talked about some of his most embarrassing moments where he's crying on stream about things his sister did to him supposedly when he was a child. But then when D-Sigs said he wants to debate, I hopped into his stream and I said, hey, I'm down to debate. You want to do? And then we debated. It would be way lamer if I continually, month after month, talked crap about D-Sigs, and then when he says, hey, why don't we talk this out? I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. That I would be a hypocrite then. What, by actually standing behind what I said and trying to support my points to your audience? That would be hypocritical? I think it would seem more hypocritical if I'm saying these things and then I'm not willing to substantiate them in front of his audience.
What are we going to debate? Character? I think you're a bad person. No, I'm not. What do you think we're going to get to the bottom of? Now, I know I might be taking away robbing you of your content, but I don't really care about that. This is
well, if there's nothing to get to the bottom of, why are you following up on this, right? It seems like there is something to get to the bottom of. There's some points to clarify. Otherwise, there'd be no reason for you to follow up on this.
Well, I'm not. What do you think we're going to get to the bottom of? Now, I know I might be taking away robbing you of your content, but I don't really care about that. This is unresolvable. I think he's a snake, and I'm going to stand by it. And something tells me, what was the word they were using last year? Vindication will come one day. I don't think that you can continue to be this kind of snake and somebody snitch on you eventually. Somebody's going to snitch on you. Look, he's going to blow himself up. He's blown himself up before, and it's going to happen again. So I really don't care. What I'm going to be doing over the next coming years is I'm going to look out when he, does the Willy Mac. When he says, this is ridiculous, but there's a good point here. But you don't understand because this is really good nuance. You don't understand nuance. The YouTuber's word to deflect from explaining anything. This is really nuanced commentary. I mean, are you kidding me?
Nuance is up there, but I would say out of context. That's the number one deflection.
This is a guilty pleasure. This is not, Chud reminds me of a lot of these sports guys that didn't get into politics, so they have to settle for being a sportscaster. Chud has to settle for being a drama tuber. I feel like the guy in Taxi, The first episode of Taxi, they asked Judd Hirsch, I'm the only cab driver in this place. Everybody else is a boxer, they're an actor, they're a painter, something. I'm the only cab driver in this place. Well, I'm the only job tuber in this place because I have no plans to move up, and I could give a shit how smart you think I am or I'm not. So here's what we're gonna do.
I have no plans to move up in the world from mooching off of my wife. Oh, excellent point.
From what I understand, to the Willy Mac part of my 25-minute video, it takes over an hour. Over an hour. That's it. That's amazing. In this
Willy Mac gets referenced a few times in this. I think the reason Willy Mac gets brought up is because the first video Willy Mac did on Destiny was pretty subpar. It made it seem as if Destiny sharing Pixie's intimate videos without consent was sort of this one-off thing. It did not establish that this has been a pattern of things that he does, starting all the way back with Blue Tea, which is, I think, like over a decade ago. And so it seems way less substantive of a criticism if you're saying, well, this is just a one-off thing that Destiny did. He messed up. Well, no, it's a pattern of behavior. He habitually violates consent. And so if you don't make that clear, you're downplaying what he did, and you're sort of defending Destiny. I'm not saying that I think that was Willy Mac's intent with that video, and he did more or less correct that with his second video. He made it more clear that this is a pattern that Destiny has. But I definitely think it was worth criticizing that first video for that. But Tommy C and a lot of the commentary YouTubers had a similar reaction to this, where they get all in their feelings, like, how could you criticize one of our own? Why shouldn't you, right? If you guys are all part of the same community, shouldn't you want to hold some level of a standard and not just let anything go? And if you do have a problem, slink around in the background in DMs and be messaging people about your problems? Why not just address it publicly?
This time, we got him to address the points that he deliberately avoided in the first video, and we got him to admit to a lie. So, what else are you lying about? Yeah, it's a little fib. Yeah, it's about a bad person. And what was the lie? I know what the lie is. I didn't know. There's a pattern there. I didn't know. Everything comes down to, I don't know. What's going on?
It's crazy, mate.
You're
it's
crazy.
fucking insane.
I don't know. It's like maybe. Hey, no, that's what you do. You say, yeah, Chud, I think you do know. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're Waterbrain. You're crazy.
You're raped, mate. You're fucking raped.
I don't know much about the Stardust drop.
I feel like if you're going to do impressions of people, it should be a decent impression. This is just generic British accent. I don't know. Maybe people feel different. I find it very annoying when people who don't have good impressions do impressions.
Drama. I don't know anything about it. But from what somebody told me today, that was the initial excuse there too. I didn't know. Chud never knows until he's forced to talk about something. Take harmful opinions. Take anything where he's actually...
Yeah, I mean, I think it is ridiculous. I don't think Chud Logic has said definitively that he didn't know. From what I've heard, he said he wasn't positive either way, which even that I think is a little bit of nonsense. Pretty obvious people would have talked about this sort of thing. Bowblax wearing a dress, if it was public already. So yeah, I think Chud was just doing it for the content. Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to admit that. And if you told that to Chud Logic and said, hey, this is supposed to be private, this is supposed to be on the down low, I get why you'd be annoyed by that. But how weird that the people who were messaging, talking BS about somebody that they were friends with in the background, then they're going to point the finger at somebody who talks about it publicly. You're the snake. Yeah, we were all talking about it in the background behind the guy's back, but you did it publicly, so you're the snake?
actually challenged on. Then it goes into meltdown mode, and then he hopes to fucking God that his audience tries to chase people off the internet. Well, look, it's just fucking mean text to me. I really don't care. It's going to happen pretty much now for a long time to come. I'm actually encouraging people to come in here and hate. Bring it on. I'm also encouraging people to find, because here's what I think with the seed I'm planting, I think you're going to start to see it over time. Chud is not going to change his ways. He's going to snake people, say rotten stuff about him, and hide behind bants and jokes. He is going to he's going to continue. He's going to see if he has enough cloud capital to go after somebody and then turn on them. He's going to continue to do that, and he's also going to continue to present things by both sides of his mouth. This is stupid. but there's something to it. It's either stupid or it's not. And if there is something to it, you got to explain.
I mean, there are plenty of things that people can say that are stupid, but you can glean something of value from it. Very rarely does somebody say something that's just completely stupid and there's absolutely nothing worth looking into in it. Unless they are really just a mouth-breathing, drooling idiot.
Chud doesn't do that.
And if that's the case, why are you listening to that person at all?
He just says it's nuanced. It's funny. So stick around. Did you have any more opinions? Anything you wanted to get out, Walt?
No.
No, not for me. I just want to get into it and get it over with because
Well,
I have to sit through.
There's a lot of stuff.
you said
That's great. You brought a co-host on. Let's just get this segment over with. The segment that takes up basically the entire stream. Why is this person here? Someone who just wants to get it over with?
this is like painful. These people say I suck. All right, did you send it to me? Did you send it to me timestamp? No, I don't have the timestamp though. I thought you did it. No, I never have timestamp for me.
No,
This is what the whole stream is about. And he doesn't have the timestamp ready beforehand.
I gave you the specific timestamp. You never told me to send you the link.
Oh yeah, can you give me the link of the timestamp?
Well, it's gonna give me.
You never send me the link.
He's got multiple co-hosts on here. Producers, co-hosts, I don't know what exactly their role is. And live, he's asking for this stuff. What a dope. No wonder, after 13 years on YouTube, this guy has got 52,000 subs.
Yeah, I know. Yes, right. You did do the timestamp. All right. Well,
You told me to give you the timestamp.
You did. I am not yelling at you, sweetheart. You are right. You are right. You are right.
You bet your fucking ass I am.
I said in the first video, he says, "Why'd you call me a pedophile?" I am okay with you chasing men on the internet or guys that dress like men, but it does look kind of fucking pathetic. I'll be perfectly honest.
Well, maybe maybe Tommy just had a nuanced take behind it.
Maybe it's a nuanced take. No, I call him a pedophile.
You can't understand nuance, Chud. That's like your problem.
Like I make the first video. He comes out and says, "Why don't you just call me to a pedophile in my face?" When I'm sitting there saying, "Look, I use your word catfish." By the way, Willy hates the fact that I use catfish because he actually didn't bite. So that's weird. Well, for political.
So this to me is very obnoxious. I'm willing to grant to Tommy C that he did not mean to say Chud Logic was a PDF or whatever, but the way that he said what he did made it seem like that's what he thought, because he said, "Oh, you got catfished by this 17-year-old," and everybody looked the other way. Well, if everybody's looking the other way, that seems to be that there's a very substantive criticism there that they're looking away from. And apparently he's just saying they looked away from the fact that you're an idiot and you were sexting with somebody you thought was 18, turned out to be a 17-year-old. Seems like that's what Tommy is saying he meant, which, fair enough. But most people, from what I've seen, interpreted it the way Chud Logic did, where it's like, okay, we're looking the other way from what? From Chud Logic being a PDF? That seemed to be the implication of what Tommy C was saying. But he's not willing to admit that that's how it came across, because he chose to say, look the other way. And fair enough. He's saying that's not what he meant. Okay, I'll take him at his word on that. But at the very least, you should be able to admit, oh, I can see why people thought that's what I meant.
Expedience. I'll use the word catfish. Because once he found out this dude was 18, or he got the word, he bounced. And the kid was lying. He was 17. He bounced. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It just kind of makes you look like a loser. It just kind of makes you, when you freak out like this against the water-brained retard, it just makes it look like you have something to hide. I mean, think about this for a second. Let's say Chud is...
So is Tommy C admitting that he's a water-brained idiot then? Because otherwise, why would it... If Tommy C is not water-brained, why would it be a bad thing for people to respond to it, right? If he was an intellect, it wouldn't be embarrassing to respond to him, right? So, to me, Tommy C just admitting he's water-brained there. PSYOP again. Kuihman PSYOP works.
I am everything that Chud said. I'm making things up. I'm completely out of my mind. I'm crazy. I believe in conspiracy theories. I'm CTE damaged. Let's pretend that's the case. Is the normal reaction to that, "My God, mate! Oh no! What's the matter with you?" Or is it, "Fuck you, dude! I was nice to you, man. Fuck off! Fuck the fuck off!" Unless I really did make an impact. I mean, that would be the fuck. I've been nice to you for months. I've been sending people over here for months. and you sit there and call me a snake, that's the normal reaction. Not, yeah, you're right about this, but you're not right about everything else. Yeah, you are.
The variance in volume. Tommy's stream is brutal. I'm pretty sure he has one of the industry standard Shure SM7Bs here. I don't know why it sounds so terrible. I'm not saying my audio is phenomenal by any means, but I try to keep the levels fairly normal. And this is like I think a $70 mic. SM7Bs are like $500, I think.
So retarded. Willy, I've seen your replies in my tweets. There is nothing. Repeating that I'm retarded over and over is exactly what Chud wants you to do because you have no mind of your own.
To be clear there, I don't think he's talking about Willy Mac. I think he's talking about Lumpy Willy, who watches a bunch of these streamer guys and chats.
All right, you got 2 seconds.
Oh, maybe
What?
I'm retarded.
Yeah, all right.
If you keep
Well,
going,
I mean, let
might
me ask
become-
you something. All right, let's reverse the whole thing. Let's pretend I am that retarded. There's no doubt. I can barely wipe my ass, right? Why would he be mad? If Frankie the weather guy says I'm a bad person, I'm going to be like, wow, that's crazy. You know what I'm talking about? The guy on Twitter?
Yeah.
They're thunderstorms in Australia. You know, that guy? Yeah, I wouldn't get upset about that. Or do you need people to believe I'm retarded? That's what I think.
Yeah, so he'll just talk about a 25-minute video for 2 hours, for
It's-
nearly 2 hours.
He's just an extremely insecure guy. The only thing he has is YouTube. He's done quite well in it, and he's protecting his identity at all costs. Otherwise, if he was secure, if he was like actually thrown off by this, if he actually thought it came out of nowhere, he'd be like, "Fuck that guy, dude. I was nice to that guy." That's not what he did. He played defense. When defense is apparent, defense wouldn't be necessary if I was that retarded. Sorry.
So Tommy C thinks Chud Logic should have gone, oh, how could he? How could Tommy do this to me? I was nice to him. That would be so lame. Pearl clutching?
And I'm not the only one that thinks it. I'm just the only one willing to say it. All right, the second one is the right one?
What a maverick, Tommy.
The 1135.
130. Wait, I got 2 links from. Oh, okay. I'll take yours instead. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
I'm expecting Tommy turns.
Again. I'm going to be doing a supercut. If this isn't your bag, you're going to get a supercut of this later. I am not just re-uploading the whole fucking thing. And I will be answering him for the next 2 hours over a 20-minute video.
I mean, I don't really have much to add.
Okay. Oh, that's one hell of a way to start.
I mean, does that not sound like a witch cackle? My God.
First, I'm cool, calm, and collected. I don't care that much. Now, actually, if he'd have just said that, probably the whole thing would go away.
That's wonderful.
I know that you spoke about me again. Thank you for the membership.
CEO of Hell became a member. CEO of Hell celebrates 7 months of membership. Chud Logic X Black.
Thank you for the membership. Oh, whoa! I disavowed it.
Does he get right into it here?
He said you're a cowardly.
Just one of the worst types of chatters in the world. He's like, oh, I'm going to put a text-to-speech donation that's just annoying, just awful to listen to. Right? You want to do 3 L's? Fine. You want to do 47 L's? That is so obnoxious.
If you don't watch it, well, then is he a coward for not watching
it
my
takes him
video?
a bit,
I
but
mean, how
think
does
it's
this
good
work
for
exactly?
Context.
Like, what the?
He said I'm a coward if I don't watch it. No, I said you specifically didn't watch it. So to avoid the issue.
Dude, okay, you're gonna fuck. You're gonna.
Boy, it worked on you better than me. I haven't given into this shit yet. You should have ignored it.
Why is this new fucking paradigm?
Well, I mean, Chud Logic is like famous for getting one guy. He very clearly lets his chat get to him.
Where it's apparently noble to not talk to someone now. What the fuck is that about, dude? It's fucking deranged. How
If the person, I mean, like I said, I would look a total hypocrite if I called you a snake, disingenuous, not trustable, and then I trusted you with a private or public conversation. That would be just stupid.
Wait, what does he mean, trusted you with a public conversation? I don't understand what that means. What trust? Everybody can see it. It's out in the open.
It would actually mean that I don't mean what I'm saying. I do. There's going
And just, seriously, how lame is this? I thought commentary was supposed to be that you make points you believe in, and so you say things. You should be willing to discuss them with other people. But no, I'm gonna say these things, and I'm not willing to talk to anybody about it. I just want to sit here on my stream with my co-hosts and my chatters and say this thing and not be pressed on it at all. It's just so lame.
To be no resolution here. I absolutely mean I am absolutely sure in the coming years that this is going to be undeniable.
How am I running, bro? I've said I'll have a conversation. Bro, I said I will have a conversation with you. I said I'll have a conversation. How is that running? Yes, Tommy's
I
going.
don't want one. I never
Because, like,
I don't want a conversation. I don't care what you do with the video. I don't care if you watch it. He said you're a coward. He's completely and totally captured by his audience. He said you're a coward. Who cares if they called you a coward, Chud? I've been called a coward for the past 24 hours in near hundreds of tweets. Who fucking cares? You're insecure.
Going fucking insane. He's done another stream and
So he doesn't even contest that he is a coward or not. He's like, I just don't care that people call me that. Okay, well, to me, the fact that you're not pushing back against that, you're just gonna say, oh, it will be hypocritical of me to do it. Well, you're admitting that it's cowardly then, right? And even if he doesn't admit that, it just is, all right?
fuck it, I'll talk to him right now. I'll talk to him right now. Bro, why am I going to react to him talking about me?
So he doesn't want to do it. That's how he started?
Yeah.
So the first video he reacts to, he deliberately avoids the major talking points, the Bowblax lie, that turns out to be a lie, and the Turkey Tom thing. He concentrates deliberately on why didn't you call me a pedo, which I never did. I basically said you came along with baggage, and the people you're snaking now are the same people that were accepted your baggage. No.
Okay, that's not what you said, Tommy. I get that's what you meant, but that's not what you said.
My now famous quote, look the other way, which has been twisted 100 times, but fine. That's fine.
No, it hasn't been twisted, Tommy. That is the natural inference that people would make based off what you said. That's what you're implying when you say that. And again, I'm willing to grant him that's not what he meant, but it's entirely reasonable that that's what people thought he meant. And the fact that he can't acknowledge that is very obnoxious.
And I'll live with that one.
It's like you are a live streamer. You misspeak. That's totally fine. You clarified what you meant. Okay. But you can't admit that you misspoke on a live stream?
Why are you mad?
Also, like,
Why
would you want to talk to
son,
someone that
why
called
would-
you a pedophile?
Yeah, that's a good
According
thing
to
too.
according to you, Chud, Tommy called you a pedophile.
Yeah.
So what
or,
the fuck would you
I
want to talk?
inferred. Let's be fair to Chud. I inferred that he's a
Inferred,
pedophile.
inferred.
You're not a pedophile.
Okay, see, now maybe I have to take it back. Because Tommy is saying he inferred that Chud is a PDF. Okay, well, if you are inferring it, that means you think that. If you said, I implied that, then that could mean you don't necessarily think that, but what you said would make people think that. Probably he's just waterbrained and he doesn't understand the difference between inferred and implied. I'll give him that again. You know, very generous, Tommy C.
Why would you want to talk to me? I'm completely bad faith. Or are you bad faith?
To me, talking.
Also, very, very lame to use debate terms like bad faith, but you're not even willing to debate. Really? Okay, then you gotta drop that lame language.
About him after he spoke about my content. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. I'm not afraid to fucking talk to anyone, bro. I'll talk to him if he wants. I'm just not gonna watch his.
So he got totally trolled by the fucking. He got totally trolled by his audience.
His eyes forced
I
him to
never
watch it,
asked him for a debate. I specifically said that there would be no debate because you're bad faith. Well, actually, the first one is just in case you are. Now I'm 100% sure. I never made this demand. I don't want it now. And from what I understand, it flips back and forth. I'll do it now to the end. I'll never do it. Okay.
His video.
Never.
No, it doesn't flip back and forth. Initially, Chud said, I'll do a public or private conversation. Then he's like, okay, the bridge is completely burned. I would only do this for content. I would only do it publicly. He doesn't go back and forth. He just changes his opinion once he gets more information.
Do it. I don't care. I don't like you. I think you're a bad guy. I think you're a snake. And I'm going to keep watching your content to find out when you get a similar type Willy take. When you speak out both sides of your mouth. I hope to make a big supercut of that one day.
Because it's fucking ridiculous. What are we doing here, bro? This fucking reacception shit. Just have a conversation with me, bro. Just have a conversation.
But you're bad faith.
Dude, how
Really, how do people not just go, ew, that's so lame and that's bad. You're bad faith. I don't want to talk to you. You're bad faith. It's so pathetic.
I go to conversation and I have Kuihman and J-Stock there.
dude, how am I the one that's fucking scared when he's there with this
Look at
fucking retarded parasocial audience, desperately fucking
I got to be honest with you. That is the pot calling the kettle back. I'm sure I have some parasocial people, but holy fuck. Holy fuck.
fucking out about me, refusing to talk to me because he thinks I'm a snake.
Yeah.
And also, apparently, what was the other thing? He didn't like how I spoke about him in a video.
Yeah, I didn't like, look, like I said before, I don't really care about the way he spoke about me. I care the way he spoke about me because we were fucking friends. And again, I defy you to watch that particular.
And how dare a friend criticize a friend? That's so messed up, all right? If you're going to do any of that, you need to slink around back in DMs and try to neutralize any of that off stream, all right? God forbid you do content of it, because these people do commentary for a living. They talk crap about people day in and day out. Same sort of thing I do. I'm not saying I'm better than that, but I don't go around in the background like, oh geez, I don't want to talk publicly about my friend. No. First of all, I don't want to have a friendship with anybody on YouTube. Like I said earlier, I don't know why you would want to do anything with these people outside of content. But how lame. I'm going to come on here day after day and just talk crap about people. But then when it's one of my friends, oh, I'm not going to say that publicly. I'm going to quietly in the background try to address it and make sure no criticism goes public. It's pathetic.
Video and come away with, is that the way a friend talks about you? He says the same things then that he says now.
What? Yeah, kind of. That is the way a friend talks about you sometimes, right? A good friend will give you honest criticism from time to time. They're not just going to endlessly suck you off and say everything that you do is amazing. Right? That would be like a fair weather friend.
I defy you to watch that particular video and come away with, is that the way a friend talks about you? He says the same things then that he says now.
So he doesn't want to talk to me. I mean, it's fine, but it's just pathetic. It's totally pathetic. Just fucking have a conversation. What's your problem, bro? On stream, off stream, he can record it. He can record the whole thing if he's worried about me snaking him or something like that. It's ridiculous.
I just don't want to talk to you because I think if it's online, we're just going for the W. It won't be a legitimate conversation. You showed that you can't have a conversation with harmful opinions. You just started screaming like an idiot. You're the gay Riddler. You're the gay Riddler. When he had a minor difference of opinion to you. And by the way, I see this all the time in your chats as well. You'll bring up a.
Like, how does he say this? Seriously, you called harmful opinions the gay Riddler. And now that he says that, I actually remember that conversation somewhat. And it was annoying. Harmful opinions was not just really coming out and saying what he thought straight ahead. He was like doing this thing where you keep asking questions over and over and try to lead people to understanding your opinion or repeating your opinion that way. But yeah, now that I know that's what he's referencing, I would be very surprised if Harmful actually got in his feelings about that. Right? I would think he's perfectly fine with that.
Political point, and if one guy in the chat, you're like, what are you retarded? This is a pattern with you. You can even go back to one of my old interviews when I bust his balls a little bit and he gets super defensive. I don't want to have a conversation with you. I never asked for one. I think you want a conversation so you can make this kind of content farm the thing. I'm not going to help you content farm. I didn't help you do it when Kuihman was fishing around Slasher stuff, and Willy didn't help you do it. I'm not going to help you do it now.
I won't bring anyone.
But he has helped Chud do it before. Do I still have it open? Is this it? I think this might be it. Yeah.
All right, so
Apparently,
Chud Logic brings Tommy C on. They're talking about, I don't even remember what they're talking about here. But then Chud says, hey, there's this guy, Kuihman, who's been criticizing you a lot. You mind talking to him? And Tommy says, oh, sure, bring him on. And then they have a debate. And Chud makes a video of it and puts it on his channel. So you've already helped him with it. I'm assuming Tommy C regrets that. But interesting that he brings up all these examples where he denied Chud Logic the content and says, oh, I would never do that. But doesn't mention that he has.
I didn't help you do it when Kuihman was fishing around Slasher stuff, and Willy didn't help you do it. I'm not going to help you do it now.
I won't bring anyone else on. It will just be me and him. That's it. I'm not going to fucking dogpile. No one else.
And here's another thing. Ask yourself something, chat. What are we going to talk about? I'm not having the conversation that you're a good person, I'm a bad person. No, you're a bad person. No, I'm not. Okay. Who cares? That's boring.
So you're not willing to discuss the things that you say about them. Like, how is this just not embarrassing?
That's boring. And then, you know, if you want to go with this league, everybody's going whether this is a win or a loss. When it's really, I just want to provoke. I want to provoke a new vision on Chud Logic, even if it's a minority. If it's 10 to 5%, I'll take it, right? All it is a numbers game at the end of the day. If I have somebody that comes on here that has 100 subs, right, whether they're right about me or not, and everybody goes after them. It's just a numbers game. So I'm not playing the fucking numbers game. You're a commentator. Commentate.
So come into the call.
Yeah, Tommy C, you're a commentary guy who critiques people all day. Why not stand behind your opinions and talk one-on-one with somebody who disagrees with you?
It's ridiculous. I got nothing to fear. I got nothing to hide. I got literally nothing to hide, nothing to fear.
Neither do I. I just spit it.
It's all out there. All my
Okay, but you are just straight up hiding from a public conversation about it.
comments are out there in the open that you can see. I don't understand this, you know. I don't understand why you can't just have a conversation about it instead of this stupid, like, you know, talking about each other on our stream.
I think it's a really snaky thing to do to go and try to get sorry on Avocad's DMs. I think it's a really snaky thing to do to kind of like, hey, Willy Mac, you're crashing out over here. I think it's really snaky to content farm him. Content farming your friends, I think, is like the worst thing you can do. I think it's a real snaky thing to do.
I mean, really, this makes my skin crawl. This is what the old guard of commentary is like. Or every single day, you're going to make a living off of critiquing people. But then you won't critique your friends publicly. Then it needs to be in the shadows, in group chats and stuff. It's just so lame. I don't know how you would have any respect for any of these people. It's like, yeah, criticism is great. You should make your whole channel off of that unless it's about you or one of your friends. Then you should get in your feelings.
To present Kuihman and Jay Stalk's version of Willy Mac's video and say, hey, they have a point there. And as soon as Nick DeOrio tweets that Willy did a good job in his, 5-on-1 debate, that you completely shift gears. I don't want to talk to you. I don't even know why are you listening to these people?
Yeah, that's why the Willy Mac thing that I brought was so obnoxious, because everybody got in their feelings about it. And I think there is a genuine criticism to make of Willy Mac's Destiny video. But then Willy Mac and Nick DeOrio and all those guys got super in their feelings about it and felt that they were being attacked because Kuihman and Jay Stock had criticisms of the video. It's just so lame. As if you're some infallible person and every video you make is perfect.
Why? Who cares what they think? I don't care what's going on right now. I wish I could get my, I can't get this fucking working for some reason, my chat. I wish you could say, why would you care? I know you're insecure.
Backwards and forwards. I'm sure he's going to do another fucking 30 minutes about this as well. Just have a conversation, bro. Just have a conversation with me, bro. Just have a fucking convo.
No.
What is going on, dude?
No.
What is going on? I don't understand what has happened.
Oh no!
You can't just have a conversation anymore.
He's never done this before. I have no idea. I don't get it.
Snake shit.
I have no idea.
I'm a snake, so I can't be spoken to.
I don't get this. I don't get why he said what he said. I don't get why people are complaining. I don't get why everybody's upset. He never understands. So at what point do we sit there and say, that's bullshit?
I mean, do you really not see why people would have a hard time understanding why somebody who does criticism for a living wouldn't be willing to argue their points? It's hard to wrap my head around how somebody could be such a sniveling loser that they would do that.
You're a fraud. In fact, the whole Bowblax thing, I didn't know. Play dumb, have somebody call it out, get angry.
It's all in the public. It's all in the open. Stop playing silly buggers and pull up the... Okay. Okay, send me the timestamp. We'll watch it. Fine, we'll watch it. Kuihman wins.
Kuihman wins.
He just got fucking one guy.
Yeah, you got fucking one guy.
By his own stream.
You got one guy by his own stream.
You got one guy by his son.
Actually, it was a Kuihman. If you wanted to help him out, maybe he didn't. Oh, I wait to see that one develop over the next couple months. Maybe he didn't. The smartest thing for him to do is like, I was nice to that guy. I'm not a fucking snake. I don't like. I think his points. Although he would have had to. Here's what happened. He deliberately didn't address the points of the first video. Right. He deliberately did it, and then he felt the pressure here. Because I said, I think I pretty much said I didn't care if you covered it or not. So everybody's like, hey, go answer these questions.
Kuihman's won again. Go on, send it through. Let's have a look. Go on.
He's going to be the death of you.
Go on, send it through. Let's have a look.
By the way, blame me for this because I knew he was going to choke, and he'll cover me again. I promise.
But I'm not doing this again. It's done after this. I'm not watching. I'm not doing any more of this stupid fucking reacception shit. Okay? I'm sick of it, bro. I'm sick of it. After this, if he wants to talk,
so sick of it. 2 hours and you're sick of it, really?
We can have a conversation. Okay?
Chud, let's make this here. I think you are a disingenuous, bad faith, backstabbing loser that trolls for boy pussy or whatever the fuck it is you do. It's okay to be LGBTQ. I just want to make sure of that. And this is your entire identity.
Very accepting of you, Tommy C.
And I pressured you into this when you could have just went, fuck off. Because you're worried.
Kuihman has won again. Kuihman's secret tricks against me have worked.
Yeah, it might have. Probably more than you think.
And of course, Kuihman sent it to me. This must, dude. This is probably the what 5th or 6th time you sent me Tommy's content to react to, Kuihman. Something like that. Is that right? All those things you sent me about him. You know what I'm talking about. Obviously, you know. I know you downplayed it on stream, but obviously, you know, we know what's going on, don't we? We know what's going on, dude. Oh shit! I shouldn't.
By the way, I'm probably not taking calls today. I don't want to lead anybody on. This is going on for a long time.
Oh, I've let the cat out of the bag. Oh, I've let the cat out of the bag. Oh no, shit.
Fuck. I will take calls on this next stream. No problem. I'm not just. This is. We will be here all fucking night.
Fuck. Damn. Forget the links. It's the novels of psychoanalysis. Psychoanalysis. He should be worried about.
A metronome in my thoughts keep telling me to get me
Let's
home.
go!
Keep telling me to let me out.
Let's go!
Oh, just let me out.
What?
Clock keeps ticking like a metronome in my thoughts. Keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me out.
What?
Oh, just let me
Real quick, if he's so fearless and not a coward, why hasn't he criticized Ethan Klein like he said he wanted to? You know, the chains were broken, right? But what happened when he did that? He got in a huddle with Nick and said, I can't talk about it because it will only create trauma. And I'm a coward? I thought you had some real nuanced commentary on how Ethan Klein isn't the greatest person there. Has he covered that since?
I mean, do you really not understand? It's pretty straightforward to me. He's bored of talking about the Ethan Klein, Hassan, IDub stuff. Which I don't know how you wouldn't be bored of it. I don't know how people continually, day after day, week after week, tune into Nick DeOrio streams where he drinks the Ethan Klein is correct juice. It's so old. These two guys are just going to go back and forth endlessly until what of them croaks? I don't know what would end it at this point. It's old. Please, can we give some other stuff some air? Stop giving these people who just endlessly go back and forth over and over again attention.
But hey, now he said it's boring, so it's fine.
Oh, it's boring now.
Yeah, he doesn't care. It's
after
boring.
his little sneak disc of Nick, now it's boring. Well, didn't he tell me in that same video?
Okay, what are we talking about? Sneak disc. He said, and yes, I'm talking about you, Nicholas DeOrio. Where's the sneak in there?
You don't like covering this diff? Which, by the way, he's correct. Cover something else?
I have no idea what
I'm playing live in Europe. This was badass. You be broadcasting all the own landing. I'm Tommy C. That guy's got a great radio voice. That's being Genie. I know being Genie. Yo, so look, I am not going. Actually, if I would have got the smaller version up. But I guess I had to give it to him this way. I mean, I would have got that up, but it was just had some problems with my browser. to punish you
Okay, that's wonderful.
of 50 minutes of going, I don't know.
What? So he doesn't even watch my video.
You didn't watch mine.
That's not. like that's not what you said, though. That's like not what you said.
You didn't.
I mean, really, this guy, he looks like he should laugh like Santa or something. But it is just a witch-like cackle, ear-piercing. It's awful.
Watch mine. So what? Like, how can you use that? I literally start the thing and I say, start the thing. You didn't even watch it. You cherry picked what you wanted to pick. And now he's like, you didn't even watch mine. Which, how many hours was that? Holy shit. It's the same thing.
What is all this shit? What is all this fucking bullshit about me running scared? Right? Because I'm not going to watch his fucking retarded video.
Then don't watch it. Don't watch it. I told you, I don't care if you watch it. Don't watch it. Oh, your audience captured. So I was right about that too?
And I've been fucking pressured into it by retards in chat. And he's not even going to watch my response and go over my arguments. Dude, this is what is so...
Why I didn't? I'll tell you why I didn't. Because you didn't go over mine. You actually avoided...
And this is why it's so dumb. And they should just have a conversation. They're just going to get into an F you about, oh, you didn't watch my video. You didn't watch my video. You didn't address all the criticisms. No, you didn't address all the criticisms. Well, that's why you should just have a conversation, because you're making content of it anyway.
The ones I made it, the Turkey Tom, the Bowblax. But now you have to do it.
It is cherry picked.
Yeah, now you have to do it.
fucking ridiculous about this whole thing.
Gotcha.
Right? He is sat there in a fucking drunken rage, probably, presumably, right?
Sure.
Banging on about...
Isn't that what he used to say about me when we were friends?
That was just bands, man.
It's kind of just the bands.
It's just bands.
But now it's literal, right? now it's just the bands, or before it was just the bands. Okay.
Credibility attacks, okay, right? Because I fucking said Nicholas DeOrio was sucking off Ethan Klein, right? All he's done is make fucking credibility attacks against me. All he's done...
Yeah, and I actually provided evidence for it. Yeah, I do. The evidence is your pattern of behavior. You don't attack, like, look, I think Ethan, you don't go, Nicky DeOrio is wrong about this. You say he's sucking off, and you don't give an example.
What do you mean you don't? You need examples to prove that Nick is doing this? Go to his channel and click on the live section and see that every single one is titled Ethan good, Hassan bad, iDubbbz dumb. What more do you need? Like, what are you supposed to catalog the hours and hours of this? Like, it's undeniable. I don't know why we would play this game where you need to prove that Nick DeOrio does this. It's obvious on its face.
So I said you dropped the Bowblax thing, and my example was it didn't make any sense that you didn't know. And it doesn't make any sense. Kuihman tried to defend you, but we find out later that it's a lie because Aiden said, I specifically told him, I remember telling him that this was private information.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Kuihman was actually trying to defend Chud Logic. I think he was just trying to steel man, hypothetically, what his position could have been. As if I remember, Aiden said that, and then Kuihman instantly, okay, well then, yeah, there's no argument for it.
Then I don't know for sure. I think Nick told you we're leaving that part out. Alex Gekmo, the guy who was A-logging Bowblax, let that out. So you may...
So, see, he's here admitting these people talking about Bowblax behind his back in all of these chats anyway. But it's only when you make it public that then you're a snake. And Chud Logic was never friends with Bowblax. Nick DeOrio was. But he's going around in the background telling people about this stuff about Bowblax. And somehow Nick is not a snake.
You wait for the New Year's stream, the biggest one, and drop it. And then when you're called on it, you say, I didn't know. Nick immediately says, that wasn't supposed to come out in the video, in the stream. 6 months later, who gives a fuck?
And also, I think it got called out in that stream. If I remember correctly, it was Turkey Tom that called it out. Where he's like, you guys always ruin it when something that's not supposed to be made public is public, but you're going, oh, geez, oh, gosh, that wasn't supposed to be public, rather than just pretending as if it was a joke. Like, probably either way, people are going to think that's what happened and the cat's out of the bag, more or less. But at least there's a chance if you pretend like it's a joke. But if you instantly go, oh, gosh, oh, geez, we shouldn't have said that, then everybody knows it's true.
Well, that's my allegation. Point one for me.
is say I'm a fucking snake and acted like I'm some duplicitous fucker with no evidence, by the way, with no evidence, right? It's fucking
No matter what you say, no matter what you provide, there'll be no evidence.
obscene, bro. I'm not making the fucking credibility attacks. He's making the credibility attacks against me and not addressing my arguments and not addressing my.
Can you believe the balls of this guy saying not addressing my arguments when his first reply literally avoided mine? The balls of this guy. That's, by the way, that's like the whole joke right there. We're going to pretend, we know you watched the video. We're going to pretend not to watch it, like you pretended not to see mine.
Fucking arguments. Bro, the bridge is already fucking gone. The bridge is already gone. You know?
Good.
Tommy C got fucking mind raped by Kuihman so hard.
Ish.
He's put about fucking 75% of that onto me, right?
By the way, I just want to point out, when we were friends, that was the band's. He said that too. So what's the difference? Now he's angry. He said that before. So what about now?
Or like no JK?
Yeah, I said this earlier with the Nick Mullen Stavros stuff. Why would the jokes change? Right? It's the intent behind them. Before it was just I'm alright, you're fat, but then afterwards it's like you're fat, you're not gonna have kids and live a happy life, right? It's more genuine at some point in time. And if it feels genuine while you're friends, then you usually find, oh, my bad. I didn't mean for you to take it seriously. I just meant for that to be a joke, right? But now it's not. So the joke doesn't change. It's just that Chud Logic's probably not going to go, oh, hey, I take that back, right?
And, you know.
No, JK. No, this is, that was, Kuihman mind raped you. He said this several times before. JK, now there's no JK. So what? So I was right. You meant it.
Oh, so it's literally what I said then.
It's like he's been seething. He's been seething about all these different issues for months and said nothing to me. And said not a single.
Yeah, because I thought you were a snake. I was right. You're a duplicitous snake.
So you went around in the background and chatted with your other commentary friends and said, oh, guys, I don't think we should trust Chud Logic. So pathetic, man.
What?
You even framed this. You even snakily framed this video. You didn't cover what I talked about. You avoided what I talked about.
Hear me, bro. We last spoke 6 months ago, and I said to him that the slasher stuff was overblown and to look over my coverage, and if he didn't fucking agree with it.
Let's go over what he said to me. If he hasn't blocked me. I actually want to check that out. Let's see.
Very old man move.
Hey, man,
pulling up the DMs.
Christmas. Aiden and Kuihman, we're talking about the statements in regards to Slasher and Brittany Ventney DMs. Huh? Some inconsistencies came up in regards to the order of the DMs and has some impacts in regards to what happened. So he's already made a decision on it. He's not even saying Aiden or Kuihman are talking about the statements in regard to Slasher and Brittany Ventney. Some inconsistencies came up in the order of DMs and has some impact in regards to what happened. Would you be interested in hopping on the stream? Well, here's the thing. He didn't say they said that. He said he said that. So it's definitive. And I knew right there and then. Now, this is coming right off the Kinetic Hell stuff and right off the stuff like.
And this is supposed to be snaky. Chud Logic just says, hey, Kuihman and J-Stock or whoever it was were talking about your coverage and they pointed some holes in it. Do you want to come on stream and talk about it? And that's when I knew he was a snake. Like, what? Don't you think it would be way more snaky if Chud Logic was going in chats behind the scene and saying, oh man, this Tommy C guy, he's got terrible coverage. He's lying to cover for Slasher or whatever it was. I don't remember the Slasher stuff, but wouldn't that be more snaky than just direct messaging Tommy and saying, hey, think you might have gotten some of this a little bit wrong. Want to talk about it?
Tommy, don't you have a wife? You should be talking to Kinetic Hell. So I knew I was.
What's going on here? Is this me?
He's not even saying what
No, it's
happened
him.
right off the Kinetic Hell. Here's the part that's leaving out. The next day, I called Nick DeOrio and I basically said, "Is this?"
You got muted for a second.
Did I?
Oh, thanks, co-host, for saying something after he's unmuted. So helpful. You could have said something when he was muted and people include what's going on here. But no, once we can hear him again, then say, oh, hey, you were muted there. Very helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
he
cut out
did.
for a bit.
How long? How long? And what muted me?
For like
5 seconds.
25 seconds, yeah.
25 seconds. All right, let me try.
No,
it
just
again. I'll start again.
Yeah, you start.
I'll
over.
start again. So we'll go over the DMs that he's talking about. Hey, man, I hope you had a good Christmas. Aiden and Kuihman were talking about statements in regards to Slasher and Brittany v. DMs. Some inconsistencies came up in regards to the order of DMs, which has some impact in regards to what happened. Now, he's saying that definitively. He's not saying, hey, Aiden and Kuihman are calling you now. He's saying that definitively. Would you be interested in hopping on stream tomorrow to talk about this at some point or in the next few days? Or are you busy? I didn't buy this. I didn't buy it at all. A couple days later, I saw, good thing I didn't go on there. Here's what he writes later. Hey, looked it over on stream today. It was overblown criticism. I don't think we need to talk to you on stream about it, but if you look it over, it has any issues, let me know. Here's what he didn't tell you. I called Nick and I say, is this guy fucking with me? And then the next day I get the message. Nick told me that, look, because I was like, is this guy trying to fuck with me? And he's like, look, I don't think so. I'll talk to him. And then the tone change came. And then we were.
I mean, why? Why are you admitting this? This is so pathetic. Some guy asked me if I wanted to talk about my coverage of something. And so then I went to my nephew, Nicholas DeOrio, and I said, hey, is this guy messing with me? Could you go talk to him for me? Figure this out. Keep me safe, please.
We're done. So he's leaving one thing out. Hey, I checked into this thing and it was totally overblown. I shot it down. Yeah, when Nick called you and I smelled a rat. Hence why I won't talk to you. I don't think you're good faith. I think you were fishing. This is a very similar.
But you didn't tell us what Nick's conversation actually consisted of with Chud Logic? Because it seems like it could have just been that he got more into the criticisms of Kuihman and J-Song. I was like, oh, I guess it's not as big of a deal as it was, or as I thought it was, right? Or maybe it's not as good a content as I thought it would have been. Maybe it was Nick's conversation with Chud Logic. I don't know.
Conversation that Chud had with Willy Mac. Hey, you look like you're crashing out, buddy. You want to come on and talk about it? It's content farming. He's content farming his friends. My argument, he's not trustworthy. He's not a very good friend. And considering, again, that he's saying the same fucking shit about me that he said.
Yeah, well, Willy Mac is a total loser, all right? He should have been willing to take on some of that criticism. But no, him and Nick DeOrio did the same thing, acted like it was completely ridiculous that you'd make any criticism of the video. Like, the video just sucked, all right? The second one was quite a bit better. I'm not going to say it was a great video, but he at least corrected for the major issue with the first video, somewhat. But no, the idea that Willy Mac, the person who criticizes people for a living, should face any criticism, that's ridiculous, all right? He was scarred. I think he did hop on one stream with Kuihman and J Stock, and maybe some other people were there, and apparently he was completely scarred by that.
Said when he was my friend, I'm kind of thinking he meant it. Okay? And that's fine. I just don't want to be friends that talk. I don't want to be fake friends. I don't want to do this mean girl shit. I like what Kuihman does. I like Kuihman just.
I just want friends who will only speak positively about me in public. All right? And if they have any criticisms, they should slink around and discuss that privately. If it's anybody else that they're not friends with, then we can talk about all that publicly. Then we can air all the grievances, make a lot of noise about it. But if it's me or my friends, that needs to be kept private. Or you need to do what Kuihman does and just be openly as abrasive as possible. But then obviously there's no friendship between Tommy C and Kuihman. That's just an enemy.
Comes out and spits it. He's a bad faith fucking bastard. He'll fuck over anybody he get by YouTube. He's never going to help his friends. And he's never going to look as ridiculous as Tommy C, who bends over backwards for him. That's a quote. All right. And here's what I want to tell you guys right now. Sub to Kuihman right now. Because here's the thing. He's going to give it to you straight. If that's the kind of stuff you want, if you don't want the fence riding bullshit, if you don't want somebody to sit there and beat around the bush, sub to Kuihman 100%. Because he's a fucking honest liar. And if that's what you want, Chud is a dishonest liar. Chud is a phony. So that whole thing is like, hey, I saw it on stream. You were trying to trap me on stream with Kuihman and Aiden. I'm not a fucking moron.
Say Kuihman?
Chud is a phony. So that whole thing is like, hey, I saw it on stream. You were trying to trap me on stream with Kuihman and Aiden. I'm not a fucking
I think you did call him Creamin'.
moron. Hence why I won't talk to you. Let's go on.
Right? Then he could talk to me about it. That's the last time we spoke. He's not said a single thing to me since, and apparently he's got all these issues with things that I've said. It's fucking deranged. It's fucking deranged, bro.
No, it isn't. Having issues with it, that's deranged to have issues with what you said? Isn't that what you do all day?
It's totally ridiculous.
No, it's the going around and talking to people, other people, about it, rather than just saying to Chud that you have an issue. That's what's bizarre.
I mean, what is going on? And apparently there's others that have got problems with me. I don't know if it's group chats. I don't know what it is. Maybe people venting. Maybe people
Well, you know that's not me. I hate group chats.
shit talking me, whatever. And obviously, it puts me in a difficult
I don't shit talk you in group chats. I go right to the source and I say, this guy's no fucking good. And here's why I think it. Just be clear cut.
position because I'm not a snake and I don't.
He's acting like he's a baller now. Because Chud asked him, hey, do you want to debate this on stream? And then he goes to Nick DeOrio and says, hey, can you assess this situation for me? I'm a little bit worried that this guy might be trying to mess with me. And geez, I just don't want to be messed with. It's so pathetic.
I don't want to start leaking DMs.
But he's acting like he's a baller. I go to the source. I go straight to Nicholas DeOrio and say, will you protect me?
Unlike fucking Tommy C, who decided to leak a bunch of Nicholas DeOrio DMs over a fucking green M&M fucking woman or whatever it was.
Wait, bring
right?
that up?
How many DMs have I leaked of any of the commentary guys? How many DMs have I leaked of anyone? How many?
Chud has proved without a shadow of doubt that he is a better person to me because he hasn't leaked DMs. Well, I guess they didn't help. I guess they didn't give you tons of content like the Bowblax dress. I didn't leak any DMs. Yeah, because I wasn't fucking in for it. Yeah, I leaked Nick's DMs. Everybody knows why I did it. He told me he was gonna make a video on me. I took that as a threat. And I acted accordingly. And you know what? I stayed away from him, and I didn't bring up his name after that because I wanted nothing but the best. After a couple months, we made up. I think Nick got mad at me and overreacted. I think I overreacted, and we patched it up. I don't think you're overreacting. I think you're shit.
How many times have I leaked DMs from any of the commentary guys? How many?
You're a better person than
How
me.
many? Zero.
What a hero.
How many
What a fucking hero.
A hero. Everybody, give Chud
Fucking
a
beating his
clap.
chest saying, I never broke the golden rule. I never broke
I
it.
never broke the golden rule. You know, it's funny you bring up the golden rule because that's Keemstar's thing. I'm hearing the same thing. Conspiracy theorist, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about, you're lying, and all this other stuff.
Alcoholic.
It's
Is that specifically a Keemstar thing? That was just kind of an unspoken rule with content creators that you don't share DMs.
almost like breaking up with Baden all over again.
Zero. The answer is zero. How many times in the future at this time am I planning to leak DMs? The answer is zero.
You're a better person than me.
I've got no plans to leak any DMs.
Great.
And obviously when this fucking drunken
I want somebody's going to tell Chud how many times Nick has leaked DMs. Probably more than me. And by the way, I'm glad he did. By the way, I'm glad he
Well, I don't know if I'd be saying that, Tommy C, because if Chud criticizes Nick DeOrio, that's going to cause you a lot of distress.
did. I'm glad he did. Chud
But
probably
Tommy,
does-
Nick recorded a call, man. It gets worse.
Yeah, that's right. Nick just called him several
Multiple calls.
Yeah, I know.
Several calls. Whoa. I don't know, Chud. You may have to disavow Nick on
Yeah,
that
you
one.
might have, I don't know. I mean, hey, don't give me this good person.
So now, are Tommy C and his co-hosts, are they snakes? That they're criticizing Nicholas DeOrio? They've buried this into their stream about Chud Logic. But when Chud Logic says, yes, I'm talking to you, Nicholas DeOrio, that's a sneak diss. But then here, when they just say things that Nick has done, leaking DMs and recording people in secret, that's totally fair.
Person, he would leak something on anybody if he thought it benefited you, which, by the way, is my whole argument and my first title. I don't trust this guy. I don't trust Chud Logic anymore. That's it. Yeah, now you're sitting there virtue signaling over, I don't leak DMs.
I mean, really, I think this guy is like 50 years old, and he's just now coming to the realization, maybe I shouldn't trust other content creators. What? How do you do this for that long? And that's not just one of your default opinions about every content creator.
By the way, I don't think there's one commentator in have it. I don't know who's leaked more than Nick. And we're talking full-blown phone calls. By the way, I think you should. I think there's a time and a place. I'm not this golden rule guy. I know you're going to play Keemstar here, and the golden rule, and nobody's going to trust you. And that's what he's doing. No one will trust Tommy. He leaks DMs. I didn't even know Chud when I leaked those DMs. And what did I leak on Nick? I went on stream and said, look, this guy threatened me. Here it is. We're going to have to split up. That's it. And by the way, I didn't follow up. And then we cooled off.
Why are you talking about Nick?
And you know what it tells me?
Should have brought it up.
You know what it tells me too? That he's fucking panicking right now and he wants Nick to weigh in. I don't think he's going to.
Veteran moron is sat there.
What did he say, veteran moron? Yeah, here's something. This is something I absolutely can't prove. I always thought he had a problem with troops. I got that vibe playing Fortnite with him one night when he made a couple weird comments.
Retarded CT riddled fucking veteran moron.
Very curious what Chud said. Maybe he does hate troops. I would think it's something more along the lines of not a fan of how people give such reverence to troops. All right. That's the way I see it. It's just a job like anything else. Maybe if you're actually jumping on a grenade hero or something, you should get some reverence. But most of the people who join the military do it because they need a job, right? It's like I don't think you're any better than a garbage man or something, right? I don't want to do either of those jobs, so I appreciate the people who do it, but I don't think you should get praise for it either.
It's sat there.
But I, again, don't know what Chud Logic said. Maybe he did say something, and he really does hate the troops.
I did. I look. I'm not gonna get my feelings. You don't have to fucking. I don't care if you respect me because I'm a veteran or not. But I did get. I have gotten the vibe a long time ago that he has an issue with vets. Absolutely, like a veteran. What's that got to do with anything? Did the army do it to me? Did the army make me a moron? Or am I a bad person because I joined the army?
Roping in other people into this, right? And it's talking about what this person is saying or what that person is saying. It puts me in a difficult position because I don't want to start leaking DMs.
Leak my DMs. All right, I'll leak your DMs.
Oh no, Tommy, don't. You're breaking the golden rule.
I'll leak your DMs. They're nothing. Here you go. You don't care about leaked DMs. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. Stop the, like, calm down, dude. Really. There we go. Discord.
I think he's like, he just like brings up Nick.
Here's all Chud's DMs.
He does actually just put the DMs on the screen here. I think that's probably too small for me to read. We'll see. Maybe we can get something out of this. But he just puts the whole thing, this whole conversation with Chud on the screen here. Hey man, I'm doing this school run and have some other stuff to do, but we'll be around in a few hours. Okay, cool, I'm at work now. Okay, no worries. I'm doing school run in a couple hours. Oh, I think I'm reading them backwards. Okay, but it's just like some random conversation.
You're showing the wrong.
Oh, the wrong fucking one. All right, I'll probably read that up there too. There's Chud's DMs. Here you go.
Zoom in.
No, fuck it. There's Chud's DMs. Fuck them. I think that's the biggest fucking weirdest thing to kind of like cry about when. Like Nick, he leaked your DMs. Like Nick's like the ultimate DM fucking phone call. And by the way, I don't got a problem with it.
You actually don't need to interact.
You tell me something. Here's my golden rule. You tell me something in private and something different in public, I'm leaking your DMs 100%.
I only want to call out Kud's dishonesty. I am so tired of pretending has fair.
Thank you. That's what I want people to understand. I want people to see Chud in a different light. I do not expect to win. I know like what's happened to me over the past 24 hours is Chud's ultimate nightmare. It's Dick Decker's ultimate nightmare. It's Kuihman's ultimate nightmare. They don't know that I've done this before, and I'm perfectly comfortable with it. It's just text. It's just text. I don't like it when it's text from people I like or people purport to be my friend or allies with.
I mean, I don't know that it would be Kuihman's nightmare. For sure. Kuihman is like known for being a contrarian. People are constantly upset with his takes. He doesn't seem interested in covering things unless he disagrees with the popular narrative. I don't know why Kuihman would be that afraid. I wouldn't expect Chud to be afraid of it either, but he doesn't make a point of being as contentious as Kuihman does. Dickers, I don't know. I've barely ever watched Dickers.
That's when I don't like it. That's when it pisses me off. Otherwise, yeah, fucking, you can say what you want about vets or whatever you want. I don't care. It's up to you.
I don't want to start leaking other people's DMs. I don't know what involvement other people have got in
Did
this.
I say Decker's name wrong?
Dickers.
Well, like Dickers.
Oh, Deckers. Oh yeah, Deckers. By the way,
yeah. They got you on that one.
I want to throw this one at you. I seen you riding both ways to see the way it's gonna break whether it's good, like, because you were a little nervous, it might break in my favor. And I saw you saying nice things to me about the technicals thing. And I don't know if you're being sincere or not. I'm pretty sure the community you come from pretty much demands that you are being serious. But let me tell you something. If for some magical fucking reason this breaks against him, and it won't, because I just simply don't cut the numbers. It's a math game at this point. I still will fucking have nothing to do with you, Dickers, forever. I don't buy your shit one iota. I think you're a wave rider. And if I was on top right now and I had more people in my camp, you would be sucking my dick, Dickers. Just wanted to.
Wait, I could be wrong. I thought Dickers started off as a Chud Logic chatter, and he started streaming from there. Maybe not, but I think that's more of why he tends to agree with Chud Logic.
Let you know, buddy.
I don't want to leak DMs, but obviously if people are characterizing my interactions in certain ways,
You don't have a fucking DM to leak for me.
I eat shit, don't I? I just kind of have to
Every time, man. It's brutal.
eat
You
shit
poor
because I
thing.
can't leak the DMs because then it's like, look,
Oh,
John's
so he's saying he's got DMs on me then. Is that what he's saying?
snake and he's leaking DMs, but then I've just got to have
Well, he's got nothing on
my
me.
interactions mischaracterized.
I don't think that's
so.
what
What I'll
he's
say is
saying.
this.
So what is he saying?
Oh, he's saying like he's a better person.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
won't
No,
get
Yeah.
DMs?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what
Did you
I'll
like
say is this.
grandstand about that?
I'm happy to have a conversation with people on stream if we've got a disagreement about something. I understand my community can be fucking obnoxious and shitters and annoying, and if they don't want to do that,
I don't care about your community. I encourage them to do what they're doing now and into the future.
I mean, they're spamming the chat right now.
I don't care. I don't care. We're not moderating it, nothing. I don't give a fuck. This is a long-standing policy over here. We really don't. I mean, somebody did N-word towers or something like that. Yeah, probably. There is a limit. But I mean, it's just text, man. I know it's not text to you because you're kind of opposed.
I will offer to have a conversation privately, and I will even say that the other party can record it. That is the snakiness
Like what could come with that conversation?
apparently that I've been participating in. Reaching out to someone and going,
You could make your point to Chud Logic's audience, right? If he's saying he just wants to plant this seed in people's minds and maybe change 5 to 10% of people's minds about something, I mean, wouldn't that be a great place to go? That's the primary place to find people who are aware of Chud Logic, is on his stream. So if that was really what you cared about, you really wanted to plant the seed and change people's minds, well, go to the source and share your message.
if you want to talk privately, we can do as well, and you can record
But
it.
I don't like you.
That is the fucking
I
length.
don't believe you. Why would I do this? Oh, I know. You're trying to frame me as a coward. I don't care if you do. If fucking Beaker Kuihman or any of those guys call me a coward, I'm like, really? You guys? Me? It's this. Look, if I was lying, if I was being the water brain retard, that's the next word you're gonna hear, obsession, right? That's what's coming next. I would be like I am now, like, oh, I'm a coward. Oh, fucking great. That's not you. You're freaking out, Chud.
So my snaky
I absolutely raped you.
fucking behind the scenes interactions directly to the person involved.
Oh, now I'm
Find
getting
me
N-word
a
towers.
single example of me like going ham on a third party.
That's kind of funny, I'll be
That
honest.
is funny.
Where's
Yeah,
that then?
good job,
If I'm
guys.
such a fucking snake, where's that happening then? Where's that happening?
Once in the video. Once you get there, hit play. I haven't even started yet. I'm just making. Look, I'm still making fun of him.
It's fucking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
we're
bro.
still getting into the intro.
I am one of the least fucking snaky people out there. It's absurd.
That's a bizarre.
I don't need fuck.
That's a bizarre. I'm one of the least snaky people out there. He is. He sounds like a kid that got caught. What do you mean? What do you mean, Mom? Are you saying I'm a liar? Yes.
DMs. I'm not on other people's. And by the way, it's not like I don't speak to people that fucking, you know.
But how do I make
Thank
money
you.
off depressed people?
I feel really relaxed today, guys. Chud
I like that Lone
Just switching from ranting to instantly thanking people for donations always gets me.
Willy is calling me insane, and I have like almost 100 tweets from him.
Check every time when stream starts.
Thank you for the super chats. You know, obviously, I've spoken to people who, you know, don't fuck, you know, not recently, but like over time, people that don't like, say, Tommy C or other commentary
Oh,
people.
thank you.
And I never shit talk them. I never, you know, even when they say things that to me are a little bit like, you know, oh, I don't like them and da 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 da, I don't say anything. I don't
she's
shit
such a
talk them.
good
I just say,
person.
yeah, they're my friend, and that's the end of it. So I don't understand
What a
where this
hero.
fucking narrative.
Well, that's the thing. I'm kind of doing the same thing. That's my friend. That's the decision that I made pretty much in February, right? That's not my friend. That's a narrative. But here's the thing. You're in the game. You're open to criticism.
is coming from. But I'm some sort of fucking snake because I genuinely.
Well, Right, and so is Nick DeOrio. But then you get upset that Chud Logic would criticize Nick DeOrio. That's what he does for a living. He should be open to it. It should be fair game.
Genuinely take efforts to not engage in snake-like behavior. So it's so fucking obnoxious.
It's not. It doesn't take an effort, Chud. It never takes an effort. I like what's so hard about not being disingenuous? Do you have to go through like a check system in the morning? All right, don't fuck this person over. Don't fuck that person over. Don't fuck this person over. I have to make an effort. Nobody has to make an effort not to be a snake. It's just some kind of sociopath wants to hide it. I mean, I'm not saying you're a sociopath, but who does that? I don't. I don't wake up in the morning and say, I don't need to. I gotta do everything I can to not fuck my friends over.
But this fucking wretch can talk about how I'm some snake with no evidence.
He's just repeating himself.
Right?
And you won't watch the
And
video
then
to find the evidence.
apparently that's just accepted.
Yeah, let's just jump ahead and see if there's anything new. Go like 2 hours in.
Let's see.
We should like insult more people.
I think I've done this wrong. Insult. I don't know. I think I should.
Or
point
fucking
out- I think I should start going back to the old days and start telling people when they're complete fucking phonies. Moderate activity, timestamps, participants, community moderation. What the fuck? I don't know how to put it in slow, to be honest with you.
Why does he do this so regularly? He turns his mouth completely away from his mic. The variance in volume on his streams is just absurd.
Start poll. Slow mode. I don't know.
That's,
Put it in slow
that's
mode.
not it.
Yeah.
Fuck, they got us on that one, buddy. Tommy C can't put his channel on slow mode.
Oh, that's the truth. I'm a water brain read.
Okay, they're trying to fix the chat here. That would be where I skip to.
Be worried about that. I'm fucking busting his balls.
Okay, but I don't really see it in this like super competitive way.
No,
You know, I rate
no,
Kuihman.
not at all.
So I wish him every
Chud's just one of the guys. Chud doesn't milk stuff for fucking long after it's over. I don't see it that way. Are you kidding me?
success. And obviously, if
So, are we criticizing him for milking stuff? But then saying that Nick DeOrio covers Ethan endlessly. That's not milking, and it would be crazy if you made that point against Nick DeOrio.
By the way, there's nothing wrong if he did see it in a super competitive way, if he kept everything above war and wasn't a snake.
sudden he started getting like more viewers than me, then yeah, I'd be like, oh shit, that's a bit annoying.
Yeah,
because I've seen so many people fucking surpass me over the years.
I think you'd fucking snitch on him personally.
But I'm not really, you know, I'm not really worried that he's going to like usurp my audience. We're quite different content creators, I think, despite the fact that we're
Yeah, one's a phony that fence rides till he sees the moment with the pounce, and the other one pounces. Why don't you go watch the where the action is?
both English. I don't really think that we've got a bit of crossover
He does give Kuihman a lot of props in this stream.
from time to time.
Maybe.
But I think we've got quite different ways of doing streaming, you know?
Tommy is so irrelevant he making up drama. You don't even know the players involved, lol.
Thank you very much for the super chats.
It's ironic considering he didn't cover the New Year's stream part. But you know, in fairness to them,
I
they
don't really understand.
Yeah, like, yeah, I know. You never understand. In fairness to them, I could see why his audience would come away with, I'm not making any points. Because it's just him screaming about points that I never made.
You yourself said the Bowblax point was the biggest point. It was so egregious that he would have ignored that because that was the most significant point in your argument. And that's a dumb point, right? I'm willing to grant, yeah, you shouldn't trust Chud Logic with private information. I would say you shouldn't trust anybody who does content creation with their private information. But if I was Bowblax, I would think that what Nick DeOrio did was way worse than what Chud Logic did, because Bowblax and Chud Logic were never friends. Nick DeOrio was going to other people and telling them embarrassing information about what Bowblax had done after acting, at the very least, as if they were friends for years. That would be way more hurtful and snaky to me. Be like, oh, I mean, I guess it sucks that Chud Logic did that, but I already had people who I thought I was friends with making fun of me for hours online.
This effort, like, okay, sure, I guess I'll keep a lookout for that. I don't know. I guess I'll keep my eyes open just in case Kuihman tries to fucking jab his hand into the back of my neck and suck my life force out. Or something. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. Like, okay.
I don't know. Take it as a jab and not literally, you fucking dork.
I guess I'll keep a lookout. Thanks for the heads up.
dishonest, dubious fuck right out in the open, like completely out in the open. Like, what did he say about me? I would never bend over backwards for my friends, like Tommy C does. Yeah, guilty.
Yeah. I'm trying not to address Kuihman's points in chat because I don't want it to seem like, you know, Kuihman is still a little annoying Jewish debate pedophile.
I'm trying not to do it. Now you're not.
Oh, okay. Do not get it twisted, okay? Do not think that's changed, just to be clear. But you know, it's just true that a rising tide raises all ships. That's the way that I've always looked at it, right?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Cootie, did you know that?
Did you see the fucking Lumpy Willy said silencing critics awesome, and he's still fucking typing, not been blocked, not been anything? Are you kidding me? I'm in line. Come debate me, coward. Well, you're just fucking dishonest as he is. No.
Really, like you're a
I will
pedophile
not,
Jewish.
I am.
So.
Here's what I'll tell you, Kuihman. I am not as easily swayed by my audience as your puppet master is.
Fake Kuihman, by the way. Just
Is it that you're not as swayed by it, or you're just not really willing to have contentious conversations when you make points publicly? That's what it seems like. He did say he was going to have people on he's going to have call-ins tomorrow, but then it also sounded like he's not going to let Lumpy Willy on, who disagrees with him. So, I don't know. Maybe he will, at that point in time, let some viewers who have no platform, really, that have no ability to spread their message anywhere else, and he has the full editing power and can mute or kick them and all of that. Maybe he will then. If he's willing to do that without any muting or kicking shenanigans, it's just bizarre that, again, he's not willing to have a conversation with the people he has a problem with.
just checked.
Oh, damn it!
You got us.
Thank
Got
you
ya.
for the super chat. And for me, at least, it's not something I really want to be like. You know, I don't want to replicate the Destiny model. I've been in the Destiny model and I don't like it much. Looking back on it, and I don't want to subject other people to that. So I don't want to create this like formal.
I figured out Destiny before you, and I probably figured out you before everybody else.
Orbiter thing, and then like Kuihman's on my stream all the time. But like if Kuihman's got like an
You know who it took embarrassing long to figure out the Destiny stuff, which I'm committed to doing a Papa Gut segment now. But Papa Gut, there are multiple instances of this guy Papa Gut talking about how, yeah, Destiny has some problems, but he's like important that he has these conversations and pushes back against these things effectively and all that. Over and over and over again, this guy Papa Gut has defended him. It's not as if he just enjoyed his content and watched it or whatever, but actually defending the guy publicly on his stream. And then once it's completely undeniable, it becomes the biggest piece of drama of the year, that Destiny's a habitual consent. But then Papa Gut's like, oh geez, maybe Destiny's not so great. Embarrassing.
issue or disagreement, and it's happened before where he's messaged me and we've argued on stream about it. Isn't that novel, guys? Isn't that novel? You have a disagreement with someone and you talk about it on stream, and you have, in sometimes, a very irritable conversation.
We don't have a disagreement on a fucking gay-ass drama issue. We have a disagreement. Like, I literally have a problem with your character. That character is being a snake. I'm not going to debate whether you're a snake or not. I'm pretty sure you're not going to come to the conclusion that you are.
Okay. I don't think there's much more to glean from this. I probably spent too long on this already anyway. But there you go. Tommy C thinks Chud Logic is a snake. Chud Logic does not think he's a snake and is willing to have a public conversation about it. Tommy C, not interested. I think it's pretty shameful if you're going to make a living doing commentary, critiquing people, and then when you have a criticism of somebody and they acknowledge your criticism, you're not going to have a debate about it, right? Like, I get if I talk about PewDiePie and he doesn't want to have a debate with me, but then if he pulls my videos up on stream where I'm critiquing him, well, then at that point, yeah, he should just have a debate with me, and that's kind of weak if he's not going to. But Tommy C made his criticisms, Chud Logic acknowledged them on stream, said he's willing to have a conversation, and then Tommy C says, no. Why would I do that? You're a scary snake. All right? I would much rather just go to Nicholas DeOrio and ask him to protect me. It's just so lame. Tommy C is not one of these people I ever watched. Nicholas DeOrio, I've never really watched him. I did watch a good bit of Augie RFC back in the day. But even Augie has embarrassed himself a good bit doing the smashing eggs on his head stream. It really is embarrassing. This is what the old guard of commentary is. And because then you also have Bowblax completely disgraced himself, Edwin's generation, or generations, I don't remember, but that guy completely disgraced himself. Who else did they have on? Flamenco completely disgraced himself. And all of these people that were the commentary guys back in the day are just completely embarrassing.